Welcome back,
What's up?
everybody.
The
This
return.
is that's right. This is season two, Nolan. This is season two for us
We did it.
on doing podcast stuff. We've got we're doing this thing,
We made
you
it back.
know.
We survived.
That's right. That's right. Well, welcome in everybody. This is the 2.1 episode of Three Man Bunkbed podcast. This is the beginning of our off-season series. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. Of course, we're going to be covering pre-draft, post-draft, what that looks like on your rankings. We're going to be talking about free agency. We'll have news
Fun
of
free agencies.
we'll
We
have
have news
news
from
of the
today.
day. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Big news of the
Um,
day.
and we're going to be doing something new. Of course, everything that we're going to be talking about, this podcast, the show, what Nolan and I do, is all sponsored by the Fantasy Football Advice Network.
Shout
Um,
out.
and and the tool, the website, the cool thing we're going to be using tonight is a new premium partnership for the Fantasy Football Advice Network, and that is Underdog Fantasy. So let's give some claps out to that. Let's give some
We're
claps.
official. We're official.
That's right. We've got well, we've got
Well,
partners.
they've got partner sponsored us. Hey,
That's right.
whatever.
That's right.
Big time.
So look, Nolan, we did I think we did 15 episodes season one,
Yeah.
which that's pretty good. We're committed to
17-week season, 15 episodes. Not great.
playoffs,
Hey, whatever.
no
It was
off
our first
season.
season. We had some injury time. We were out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
we were. Yeah, we had more snaps than Aaron Rodgers, but barely.
that's right. The hip drop
Barely.
tackle got us.
If he got an $81 performance bonus, what did we get for that? Like, what's that look like for us?
I mean, we're probably just pennies, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Pennies. Shout out Penny
Shout
for
out.
this. Shout out Penny. Well, cool. Look, yeah. So we got lots of off season to get into on future episodes. We'll probably have something kind of a little bit more structured on breaking that down, the biggest changes, how we think that impacts it. Today we want to do two things. We want to talk about the big news. We can't do a podcast and not talk about the big news. And then we're going to do an underdog draft. We're doing this thing. And so let's see. Before we get into the underdog draft, let's talk about the news, Nolan. What happened today? What changed the world today?
Oh my God. Stefon Diggs traded to the Texans.
Stefon Diggs traded to the Texans. So that's kind of a.
Who does this help? Who does this hurt?
I think it hurts Stefon Diggs actually.
It's gotta, right? So, I feel like I have been looking at some mocks, preparing a little bit. He's been going third round a lot. I feel like that's got to be high for him now at this point, right?
Yeah, so he's going from an offense with a quarterback who admittedly runs a lot more than C.J. Stroud, but he was basically the only big receiving threat from the wideout room, right? Like,
Who the hell's
I mean,
left on that team?
yeah, they don't. I mean, it's Khalil Shakir is wide receiver one
Shakir's
right
team
now.
at this point.
Yeah, and so
KJ
um,
Hamler. If he
now he
is
has to
even
go to a
alive?
team. Yeah, no. The average height for the Bills at receiver has to be like
It's sub
5'9".
6 foot, right?
Yeah. And so it hurt Diggs. I mean, he's going to a better situation, like
Mhm.
player wise, but fantasy wise, it's not better. He's got a quarterback with one really, really good year, but one. He's got a bunch of other options. So they've got Tank, they have Nico, they have Dalton Schultz, and they added little-known running back Joe Mixon to the backfield, who also can catch passes, right?
Yep.
And so I think initially, fantasy-wise, I think the biggest person it probably hurts is Stefon Diggs. It just muddies that up for you. So to your point, he's going to drop in the drafts. What do you think about Josh Allen, Nolan? Are we still so? Maybe not number one fantasy asset, but does it really impact him that much?
So are they about to start doing the two tight end set, 12-man personnel all day?
1,000,000%, yes.
Dalton, Knox, and Kincaid.
And we're going to see James
Honestly,
Cook.
this may help Knox and Kincaid best of anybody in these rankings.
And I think James Cook's going to be catching a lot more. I think they're going to put
Yeah.
him in a position to split out and do what he's got to do. Again,
How many
sub 6
catches
foot.
did he have last year, though?
I don't know. Well, that's a great question, Nolan. That's a great question on a fantasy football podcast to ask.
Stats. Sorry, my keyboard's loud. Still again. I've been meaning to get a new one, but
Yeah, we talked about it. You do this to us, not for us. It's fine.
That's exactly. He only had 44 receptions last year.
Yeah, so 44 receptions with Stefon Diggs there, right? And so unless they take a new receiver, and it probably, I mean, there's some intriguing free agent options. They've still got Odell Beckham and Tyler Boyd and guys like that. So I would look out for that.
Coming up also.
And then they got the draft.
They're ripe for a day 2 receiver.
I want to live in a world where they take more than one. I want them to Green Bay it and take like 3 dudes. And just
Keon Coleman on the Bills.
Okay. He'll be a foot taller than the next guy. I mean,
that's right.
He'll be a foot taller. So yeah, look, that's our news of the day on that one. Stefon Diggs traded for next year 25. The Bills
Diggs and then a 5th and 6th this year for a second next year.
And
it's got to be like a money thing, though, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
You've seen all these reports about how he's just had a bad attitude. I saw a video today in the game that got knocked out in the playoffs, him just screaming at Josh Allen and then proceeding to drop a ball.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And, like they wanted to get rid of this guy badly, right? They had to because they're eating $31 million in dead cap to not have him on the team.
Yeah. That's a big chunk of change just to not have, just because you don't like somebody, it feels like.
Yeah, you got rid of your best offensive option. I'll say that. Not just receiver, but probably best offensive option. And ate $31 million of his contract to get him off the team. So
it's no rust, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's I like that. No rust. That'll be our measuring mark for like horrible situations.
How bad
is the Russell Wilson
on your team? Is it as bad as they hated Russell Wilson?
Can't be. It's impossible.
That's a big mountain to climb right there.
I tell you what will be worse than that is if Deshaun Watson isn't good this year, that's officially on radar to be worse than that Russell Wilson situation. Yeah.
I still think that's the worst trade ever made, but
yeah, it's the worst contract, no doubt. Yeah. no question. At least for now. So okay, cool. All right. So we're gonna do a draft. We've got our underdog disclaimer up top. Please make sure you check that. And then look.
Plus, if you have gambling issues, call that number.
If you are going to be getting on Underdog, if you're going to be checking out our show while we do this, if you're going to check out the Fantasy Football Advice Network's YouTube and website, they have a bunch of other content creators that are going to be doing Underdog shows. Sign up. Use the code FFAdvice. We'll match your first deposit. Super cool partnership.
Helps us.
That's right. So get on there, jump on. If you don't have an account, create one. Use the code. They'll give you. They'll match money on that. So. Cool. We're going to leave that ticker on there, Nolan. I think they need to see it. Let's do this draft, man.
Hey, we're back. Oops. We didn't plan properly, but we're back in action.
Oh.
Let's see if we can get in one now.
If only y'all knew how much time we just skipped to get to this point back in the podcast.
How much time it was.
All right. I am officially in one that's waiting for 5 people. I think we're in the same one here. Okay.
Oh. Hip hop hooray. Look at us go.
That's right. We're cool. All right. So, yeah, we were talking best ball. It's a really cool format where – yeah, that's right. Where you get to just draft your team and then, it does all the work for you once the season starts. So you get to just do drafts and drafts and drafts.
So it's whatever your best lineup is every week, it puts it in.
So let's talk a couple of changes right here off the top from last year that we just remember, right? So first off, McCaffrey's number 1 at the start of last year, and we'll have to take some.
He was RB1 from last year, but he wasn't overall number 1 from last year.
I'll say this: he was like RB1A because we were in a lot of drafts where Eckler went.
Eckler, man, that injury got us on a lot of them. Yeah. But I think the big fall is JJ.
Yeah. Bijan's higher than he was. He's not like radically higher. He was still in that first round range, but he's
going first round.
Yeah, he's 5th now. So instead of like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, he's like 5. He's in the front half now. Mm-hmm. And then CD went from like a second round guy, a second round dude to wide receiver 1 and number 2 prospect. Some people are going to like him enough to take him 1 overall.
I think it's a good pick though. If you ask somebody from our Fantasy Football Advice Network, Tyler, he's the biggest CD homer you got, so he feels vindicated, I'm sure, about this.
That's right. And then Tyreek Rose, that's awesome. Brees, I think, is much higher. And then Nolan, look at this year 2 guy, the little known receiver from the Rams, as a
Crazy, right?
top pick there, top 10 pick.
Damn. Worth it.
Greatest rookie wide
Best
receiver of all time.
Of all time. I think this pick is too high. I don't know why he is still so high.
I've got one that's more egregious, I think. Nolan,
What's that?
go to the 15th prospect. Oh, there is rookies. Look, there's Marvin Harrison Jr. there.
Oh, this probably hasn't changed from the news today. Let's
Yep.
be real.
Yep.
It's
Jeff
fine.
starts in 2
It probably
seconds.
hasn't updated. God, he is so high for nobody to know what team he's going to be on yet.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be maybe the steal of the draft, though.
Oh, with Kirk,
Super
you've got
high.
2 super elite years of
Yeah.
production left on Kirk.
That's right. He
All
got
right,
a
let's see,
4-year
so-
contract, too, though.
That's right. McCaffrey, Tyreek at the 1-2.
So, do we believe he's actually going to retire after this year? Was it this year he said is going to be his last year before
Yeah, he said he had
becomes a
2
porn
years
star?
left. That's right. 2 years left. Okay, what an interesting group of players here at the 1-4 for my pick that we weren't going to be talking about. I think I'm just going to roll. Yeah, I'm still kind of a running back truther, guys, and I'm going to pick this guy going into year 2 where he gets Kirk. I'm going Bijan.
I think we're a little too old school, man. I feel like we
That's true.
always end up going running back.
McCaffrey was the 1-1. We're not crazy. They're crazy.
So that was actually going to be my pick, was Brees. I think he's going to have a fantastic year, especially if Aaron stays healthy the whole time.
So do you go Jamar?
So hear me out. Is it crazy to kind of just want to go Sun God here?
No. He is a glorified slot receiver. It's true. But
It's fine. I went Jamar. I think it's a
Fine.
smart thing, especially so all the mocks we've been seeing have Bengals taking tackle, which
That's right.
they really need to keep him safe and healthy. If that line gets better this year, if Burrows doesn't get hit quite as much, it could be Jamar. Big year again, but that's a big if, man. Burrows has
Yeah.
been hurt every year at this point.
look at Kyron all the way up at 1-9. You
It's
talk about
crazy,
a riser.
right?
Talk about a riser. This guy was undrafted in best ball lineups last year. I mean, he was literally not picked. And now here he is. What is that, running back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's running back 5 in the first round.
It's crazy to think.
Look at these 5 running backs in the first round. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
Like the good old days.
Yeah, we made it. All right, so it's coming back around. It's going to be Nolan up next. So Nolan, when you're doing these underdog drafts, do you go in like pre-baked strategy sometimes, or do you kind of just get the first 2 rounds and then build in your strategy from there?
It depends on how I'm feeling that day. A lot of times I just kind of wing it. I do
Okay.
a lot of this by feel.
Wing 15.
As
I
we've
see
said,
you.
we're not experts here.
Yeah,
But
that's a fact.
I
Yeah,
go by. We do these a lot. We're experts by volume at this point.
Yeah, and I think planning on the underdog drafts is going to be difficult, right? So like in your regular draft where, you decide what the draft order is going to be, you have time to do your mocks, you have time to do those things and kind of figure that out.
I want to drink that. It's so bad there.
Devon A.
So let's look at who we got. Devonte doesn't have a quarterback. Ayuk might be the best pick. DJ Moore got more competition with Keenan.
Mhm.
Diggs just got traded. Debo. It might be the Olave. You know what?
Ooh.
I'm going to make a controversial pick.
About that. Mr. 1,000 yards.
Mr. 1000. His quarterback got re-signed. He got re-signed. Baker looked great last year. I think he is a never the wrong pick in like mid-round 2, you know?
Nolan, I think you were right on with the correct idea here, taking Chris Olave. I'm with you. All these guys up top either have quarterback issues or further competition.
You could have gone either of the San Francisco guys too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But
So, no, yeah,
I
for me
don't-
on these – go ahead.
No, you're good. I don't like the Devontae. The quarterback's so up in the air. He either has AOC or he has a rookie. DJ Moore's in Chicago. God knows what's going to happen there. We don't know if they do end up taking Caleb, if he's going to even be worth a damn. Tank just got new neighbor there. I don't know. This area of receiver, I'm realizing, doing our first draft of these this year, I kind of hate this area of receiver. There's so many ifs.
Look at Josh Jacobs at 32. That will rise.
Oh, yeah.
That will rise. Yeah.
How much do you think A.J. Dillon takes from him? Or do you think...
I don't.
You don't even think it's going to be worth, like...
He didn't take from... Here I am again. He didn't take... As a matter of fact, that's who I'm taking.
Your best friend's right there.
No.
It's so high for him. It's crazy how high he is.
Yeah, and he has to... Anyway, so let me do the Josh Jacobs, and then we'll jump into the Sam Laporta thing real quick. So Josh Jacobs, no, I don't think Dillon takes away because I don't think he had that big of an impact on Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones has never led the league in rushing. Josh Jacobs has. I think he's maybe more talented than Aaron Jones, and he's certainly younger. And so they didn't sign him that big contract to cut Aaron Jones and then, let A.J. Dillon do stuff. So the second one was Laporta. I love Laporta. I've got so much autograph stuff. My team last year was Laporta Potty. But hear me out. He was the greatest rookie tight end of all time. Natural regression, I think, is a real thing.
Also, when most tight ends don't come into their own until they're mid-late 20s anyways.
Yeah, so I want to see him grow up and be an even bigger boy in the NFL and do some really cool, fun things. I just... I worry. I worry that team is a prime team for regression. The Lions in general, to be honest with you. And so, Laporta is definitely still worth a draft. He was elite last year. I just don't know if he's worth it as high as he's currently ranked right here.
So high, yeah. It is nice to see how far all tight ends have fallen this year. Last year, you had Kelsey going in the first, and then you had Andrews in the second, and you had Pitts in the third.
He really disappointed people.
Yeah, well, he disappoints people every year.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see tight ends as a whole falling. Also, there's Trey McBride, tight end 3.
Way to go, Trey McBride. Dude, that's awesome.
He had a fantastic year.
While we're in between picks here, Nolan, real quick. Don't forget, if you're signing up for Underdog after watching one of our shows, please use the code FFAdvice. We'll match your first deposit.
There you go. For my pick, I went running back. I had already doubled up on wide receiver. So the easy pick was ETN. It was him or Henry. And, yeah, Henry's in a better situation, but he's still, 31, 32?
Yeah. So ETN, Jamar Chase, and Mike Evans, I think you've got, a team of, they're not old, but, it feels like old reliables here. You got...
you've got the Jamar Chase, who's, 23, and ETN's, 24.
That's right. I'm rolling... my squad's looking like Bijan, Josh Jacobs, and Chris Olave.
Nice.
Yeah, it's looking good.
So I'm not taking Keenan Allen. I don't trust Chicago. I'm not going to take the wide receiver 2 there yet.
James Cook with enhanced value?
The Lamar pick.
That's fine. MVP Lamar.
So I'm going to gamble a little bit here. I'm going to take Lamar. I've already got the RB1, 2 receivers. I'm going to take the running upside quarterback. And then a little further down when I scroll, see if he falls a little bit. Get a little stacky stack. But we'll see if he's there.
Let me see. So, Keenan or T. I don't know about Keenan in Chicago because it's going to be a rookie quarterback. I'm actually going to take T right here and just stack him with Olave.
Nice.
So, no, yeah, what I was saying earlier, on Underdog Drafts, it's really fun because it's hard to come in on a strategy. You don't know where you're going to be picking from until the moment the draft slots you in and then says go. So, yeah, I think the cool part to these drafts is kind of seeing where the first 2 rounds go, getting a feel for the people who are drafting, and then craft your strategy from there. But just be mindful, if you get pigeonholed into feeling like you have to take a position, you're probably making the wrong pick, right? Like in best ball, it's best player available, and take a shot at players later. Take a shot at the Kyron Williams and the Sam Laportas and the Puka Nakuas. Because if they pan out, it'll be the difference in winning and losing.
That's right.
But in Underdog, the difference between winning money and losing money, not winning first place, but just being in the money, is just a pretty good roster, right?
Yeah.
And so don't fill a position because you feel like you've got to fill just that position right then. Take a risk later and just get the best player available.
It's also variance. Like, you're going to have a lot of people that do the same drafts a lot. So you want to change it up. Don't do the same draft every time. Having something a little different than somebody else is kind of the thing that's going to put you a little 1 foot over.
He disappointed me last year a little bit when I took him, but I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes here.
Okay.
I just
you can never go wrong there.
Yeah. Plus, he's got a rugby player to throw a handoff to.
So, I think I'm going to audible. I said I'm going to take Andrews.
Let's do it.
If Kirk's not hurt, this is his team in Jacksonville.
Look at 787 yards in only 12 games.
Yep, that's exactly right. So him, I'm gonna get a little Jacksonville stack, a little ETN.
I'm good with that.
Christian Kirk.
I think it's good.
Because also I don't really trust Andrews to not make it a whole year at this point too.
And he only had 3 touchdowns. So you talk about 787 yards and 3 touchdowns on 12 games. All he has to do is be healthy, and the value for where you just got him is higher, right? Like
also he's got to regress to the mean a little bit too. Like 3
Yeah.
touchdowns as like the slot receivers feels low.
No, it's awesome. I think it's a good pick.
That's my home.
Let me see.
I'm a big old fanboy of the Christian Kirk.
Tons and tons of quarterbacks left. I'm good waiting on that.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, Kirk Cousins down here as QB. Out of the quarterbacks left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's the 12th quarterback left on the list after quarterbacks have already been taken.
Yep.
So feeling pretty good about that.
So is this the year Kyle Pitts doesn't let us down?
No, he sucks. I'm telling you, that dude is not good. Jonnu Smith was good in the exact same offense that Kyle Pitts wasn't.
Right?
I'm just telling you, you don't run a 4.4 and get drafted like, what was he, 3rd overall or whatever ridiculous?
Overall that year.
Yeah, and then let a dude that's been on 4 teams or 3 teams, I think.
He's 34 or something like that. Jonnu Smithson.
Yeah. You don't let that dude come in and dominate you like that.
I think.
Yeah.
Are you before me? No. I think I'm gonna go Kincaid here if he's still hanging out. Nope, lied. He's gone.
He's
Adios.
28, and on his 1, 2, 3, he's on 28th on his 4th team.
Yep.
Ooh, Nolan, I know you're high on Durham Smythe, but Jonnu Smith's on the Dolphins now.
Oh my goodness, I do love Smythe. No, I
Let
think
Tennessee Calvin Ridley.
Dalton Kincaid is going to be the biggest beneficiary of.
I know who I'd pick here, but I'm just a homer for
I know
him.
who you're going to pick. You would pick him.
Yeah.
How big of a homer am I to take?
You got to take
Montgomery?
Monty. Yeah.
Got to, right? So I don't think anybody here is.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Did you get him?
Yeah, I homered it a little bit.
Whew. Okay. One of the best things about keeping you honest in underdog drafts are these 30-second
So
timers.
fast.
That Nolan, hear me out. No, yes, I can still take them.
Yeah,
So-
you're gonna do it.
No, so I wasn't going to take Aaron Jones. I was thinking Calvin Ridley here, and then I thought I took this guy in as many leagues as possible last year, and he finally scored touchdowns, and now he's not in Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett. I'm taking Deonte Johnson.
You love him, man.
Dude, that's
I'm
my
glad
guy.
I'm glad you didn't take Calvin Ridley, though. Tennessee's where wide receivers going to die.
Yeah. We just don't know anything about Levis yet.
Julio. It was D-Hop. It was...
Traylon Burks.
Well, he died before he got going. But
That's right.
I
That's
think
right.
Calvin Ridley is going to be the next wide receiver to go to Tennessee and just fucking die.
That's right. But, man, so glad they traded A.J. Brown to draft Traylon Burks to then give Calvin Ridley $92 million.
So, this is weird to me. I know we love the rookies, and we're going to take them high, but I feel like having Brock Bowers over, like, Schultz and Hawk and Moose is just weird, man.
So, people got spoiled last year, and we will be the semi-pro fantasy players who pay attention will be able to make money on this. Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid, the Green Bay duos spoiled people last year on rookie tight ends, and historically, it's like not a good pick for them. All right, let me see. So I got 2 running backs. I've got 3 receivers. got a quarterback. I'm feeling pretty good here. I'm actually going to go. They're probably going to go Evan Ingram on this.
All right.
I feel pretty good about my skill positions where they're at to take a tight end before the tight end gap moves. But yeah, it's these rookie tight ends that they're year two guys now, but they sport right. You had the greatest rookie tight end of all time. Kincaid was really good. Luke Musgrave was good before he went down, and then Tucker Kraft.
Jones, and he just fell right to me.
You don't
Am I
know.
going to actually do this? I feel bad about it.
I mean, they don't. It's Sam Darnold, so.
Might as well.
It's good.
Oh God! So is it going to be Sam Darnold, or do you think they're going to trade up and take a rookie QB and play him? I think for start Darnold for a year and let.
Yeah, I think for this year's purposes, it's Sam Darnold. Yeah,
they're not going to be able to trade up into like the top 3 quarterbacks, which are like day one startable. So like you're going to get one of the tier 2 guys, like McCarthy or my boy Penix.
Yep.
So I've seen a lot of mocks where they go to 5 from the Chargers. And then the Chargers at 11 take a tackle, and then at 23 take whichever receivers left.
Mm-hmm. Hear me out, Nolan. Nick Chubb is still here. Now he's at 90th. He went from the back of the first round to 90th, but he's still, I don't know, man. Like that's pretty high for a guy who had his leg wobble a second time in his career, a third time in his career, right? Once at Georgia. No, yeah, just twice. Once at Georgia, once here. Yeah.
Did Najee sign a new contract, or is he on his last year of his contract?
Last year.
Okay. That's a lot of running backs here.
I feel about Tony
having
P.
3 already.
Well, look, it's our first draft of 2024, Nolan.
Yeah.
We're learning. Hopefully people can take our mistake and not make it in theirs. The downside to our learning process that we've chosen on Underdog is this draft will count. This draft is going to go towards this entire season.
This costs $10, so. Oh well.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let's see. Speaking of I just got a notification for the other draft that we cut out of this. Frame. All right. Let's see how the squads are looking. Oh, man, I'm killing it. I've got Patrick Mahomes, Bijan, and Josh Jacobs because I took those 2 guys high, and I haven't taken a running back in 5 picks. I still have Chris Olave, T. Higgins, Deonte Johnson. Deonte Johnson is wide receiver 3. Feel good about that.
Yep.
And then great. Evan Ingram.
So Lamar looking great. Our running backs are looking. RB1's good. The other 2 are iffy. Fantastic receivers, though.
I think to your point, that pick that was spent on Monty, we go back and we look at the other options because, like, you got right now, I think Aaron Jones and Monty kind of have similar value this season, and you got Aaron Jones, 11 picks later. Yeah.
Is this where I go running back and then don't think about it the rest of the draft? Because you've got Mostert, who 31, they still put him on a new contract, and I'm so high on Jaylen Warren this year.
Yeah.
And then Zamir's just hanging out down there.
5 seconds. Be brave.
I'm gonna do it.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just high on him. I hate Najee. I don't think he's a good running back.
No! I got sniped. Man, I was going to be super brave. Be super brave with Nick Chubb. Okay.
I feel like my other option here was I don't want to do a quarterback again. I'm not feeling either of these tight ends super heavy. It might have been Dubes, because if Watson's hurt, it's Dubes' team.
I'm going to take Javonte. I'm just going to take a shot.
Yeah.
Just get some running back depth on it. If he has a week with 3 touchdowns, that's fine. I'll take him in my lineup that week. Oh, so in this format, let's talk format for this draft. So the way they will roster your players, it's not super flex. So 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, tight end, and flex. Okay. So I guess you would say probably super standard on your lineup. Yep. Super standard on that. So we're not going to take quarterbacks real late. You can still take them a little bit higher than you normally would because it's best ball. So you get 2 good ones and let it roll, but it's not super. It's
an excellent week there in your lineup, and you don't have to worry about it. So if you have like an outlier week, it's always nice to have the guys that I feel like in fantasy, I never want the guys that have a 5-point week, 5-point week, 30-point week, because it's just so inconsistent in best ball. Nothing wrong with having those guys because they're going to be in your lineup on the outlier weeks.
Right. Let's see. All these guys are still here, man. Like every one of these dudes. Let me see. Romeo Dubes. Brock Purdy. Oh, man.
There's so many quarterbacks left.
Yeah, I'm going to go Josh Downs on this one. I'm going to go Josh Downs.
It's crazy how low Hawk is on these rankings.
Yeah, he's not even, dude. I can't see him yet. See. Schultz is above him.
I'm still getting dupes. I was talking about I wanted him a minute ago, and he's still just hanging out here, so might as well.
Nolan, here on our show, are we all-time faders of David Njoku? I mean, is that like?
Yeah.
It's just I don't think. Find somebody else who's a fan of him. It's not us.
I love watching him play, but I never want to take him in fantasy.
Let's see.
Who's down here? Let's scroll down a little. Let's see who's available. So many rookies just so high, just for the variance sake. If you're doing these drafts before the draft, if one of these guys gets into an amazing situation, which you can get him here around the 100th pick, you got a steal when it comes to best ball.
Hey, you can get wide receiver 1 there from Buffalo.
There's no way they don't take a day 2 receiver. Honestly, they have what, the 30th pick?
Yes.
I could see him use it there. Hell. You've got Keon Coleman. You could get the kid from Oregon that I'm blanking on his name right now.
Troy Franklin,
that's the one. You said it earlier. I feel like it's half a joke, but I kind of liked it after you said it. They could get Leggett.
Xavier Leggett. Yes.
Sure, he had a bad 40 time. I mean, you know who else had a bad 40 time? Puka Nacua.
Yep.
So people were saying the same thing. I tried to do a breakdown. I couldn't find good gauntlet times. Puka had, he run a 4.5, like a late 4.5.
Yeah.
But he had the fastest gauntlet time. You know who else had a 4.5 and the fastest gauntlet time? Keon Coleman.
He did run that 4.7, that shady 4.7 that he shaved. But look, that's the 40. Like you're gonna have sometimes you'll have
speed,
some
baby, bad 40 time,
but
weird runs it good. So Signature probably RB1 in New York, right?
No question. Even if they take a rookie, unless he's just like
I can't
crazy
afford
good
to take another stinking running back here, though. You know who I'm gonna roll down to after the news today? Might be in a fantastic position. Curtis Samuel.
Habitual top 30 wide receiver who's now kind of the most talented wide receiver on that roster.
If anybody is here that watched our stuff last season, we talked a lot of good about Curtis Samuel because nobody thinks about him ever. But
I'm taking my first rookie here.
Consistent flex, just a solid plug and play.
First rookie going here, and it's not Troy Franklin.
Is it Ladd?
Give me Ladd if I can find it. There you go.
He's right there.
Boom. Let's go, Ladd.
Gotcha.
They're gonna say Gym Rat. They're gonna say Lunch Pail Guy. All right, this dude tested and measured almost identically to Garrett Wilson. Okay, let's go. Bring Ladd. Now look, a lot of this rookie stuff that we're taking. The weird part about doing this before the draft is we are so devoid of like information on where they're going. Like Ladd or Rome O'Dunes or any of those guys, their value to us and how we draft them is so different now than it will be draft time because situation matters.
Yep.
Think last year Quentin Johnston, right? Going to a team where he was a first-round receiver, but the third guy on the depth chart, right? And so you just
trash.
Yeah, he was garbage. Now he's wide receiver 1, incidentally.
Yep.
Where is he on this list? Did we miss him come through? No, he's here at 137.
Yeah. This may be him so late. This also might be a homer pick because unofficial Chargers fan. But he's the RB1 on this team.
I think you're only unofficial to the people who haven't listened to this podcast yet.
Hey, look.
I'm just saying. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. I'm still going wide receiver again. We're just giving as many options as possible. This dude's talented, and he's with a quarterback who is a terrible human being, but if he
Oh.
plays like he used to play, he's good. I think Jerry Jeudy in that offense is kind of interesting. And I just took him as my wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There you go.
I got him after Lad McConkey.
I'm gonna
That's
follow
good
what
money.
I said. I'm gonna pray the Bills take him there at 30.
Or just somebody who needs him as the wide receiver
Or
1.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
As Memphis guys, we root for Florida State because our boy Norvell's there now. So maybe
That's
it's
right.
Also... I watched every single one of his games last season. I think he looked great.
It was a really good season to watch all of them.
Yep. Oh, they were robbed. They should have been in the playoff. I'll never forgive them for that.
You know, Heisman quarterback gets hurt. The committee rolled out. They went, we won't make as much money on Florida State. You know what we're not doing? We're not doing the playoff committee. This is a safe space for just fantasy football mostly.
Oh well.
Let's see. Coming up. Nolan, hear me out on your second quarterback. There's no way he makes it to you or I. But if Kirk is still there.
I'd take him in still if he's still there.
I almost took him. Honestly, I almost took him, and I thought,
there
no.
he goes.
Yeah. Who? Let's see. Let me look at that guy's roster because that's probably if that's his first quarterback, he's probably in the money.
There's still so many good quarterbacks here, though. Like you've got Stafford, who's good. Rodgers, if he.
This guy took Caleb Williams first at the 108, and then he got Kirk Cousins at 132.
Well, that's all right.
That's good best ball, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty elite best ball. You get Caleb Williams with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and maybe Rome. Oh, man. There's Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, and Khalil Herbert. Like, there's a lot at that offense. We just don't know if the dude's good in the NFL.
I think my next pick is going to be a team need pick. We said don't do it earlier, but I'm doing it here. Also, just because I like him and I'm high on him.
Moose coming up. Is that who we're... Yeah, that's good. I think it's a good pick this late. That was the upside to getting Evan Ingram where I got him is there's kind of a gap after that.
Yep.
All right, so we're down here. Yikes. We're already getting into take shots time. Let me see. Hedge my bet with that Nick Chubb guy and take Jerome Ford. You know what? No, I'm going to get an Aaron Rodgers pick in. We'll see. Look, he only had 4 snaps, okay? All right, he had 4 snaps. I'm with you. But hear me out if he has a full season, okay? He doesn't have to throw for 4,000 yards. He just has to give me a couple of those 3 touchdown weeks.
He does have
on
a
best
lot
ball.
of weapons, though. Yeah, who's your other quarterback you've got?
Mahomes.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, got Aaron Rodgers almost 100 picks after Mahomes. That's pretty good. Feeling pretty good about that.
This is one of those moments to where we're kind of new to using Underdog. How do you look at the big board?
So on the app, it's easy. On the
There's a button on the app to do it. I can't quite see how to do it on here.
No, I don't think it's possible. Sorry.
Why is
No. Here we go.
I
Right there.
figured it out.
Right there.
I found it as we were saying it.
Look at Rome going above Deonte Johnson and Terry McLaurin and Jordan Addison.
I can see it though. He's going to be a top 12 pick probably.
Situation matters. It depends on where he gets drafted.
Whose team are you liking? Look at the big screen. Who are we
Let's
liking
see.
on here?
Well, I gotta make a pick in a couple picks, so don't let me miss that.
Oof,
Okay.
I
Don't you
hate
dare.
Team 2's draft.
Tyreek, Stefon, and Tank.
That's tough, man. He doubled up on the Houston guys.
Yeah, he might have missed that.
Pacheco and Kenny. That's a tough one. That's a tough
He even
pick.
went CJ and Tua. Like, CJ was really good last year, but he was a rookie, right?
Yeah,
And so,
you never know.
you just hope he's that good again. All right, let me see.
This guy took Mandrews and Travis Kelce.
Well, that's fine. Like if you're gonna take him real quick, he doesn't have to take a tight end for the rest of the draft, maybe.
No.
Or he take one of them guys late. All right, let me see. No, I think I'm going to take a shot at one of your guys here. I think I'm going to take Michael Wilson.
There you go. Man, look, as of right now, he's wide receiver 1 on that team.
So, do we really think they trade out the Marvin Harrison lottery?
I would.
He got a ton of weapons. All of a sudden, he's got Cooper Kupp and Puka and Kyron.
Right. God, it feels like you have to, though, right?
Yeah, I think it's better for him, right? Like, if you're just trying to infuse talent, you have a year 2 head coach and a young quarterback that's coming off of, the injury campaign where he got to play pretty good football at the end, but games that didn't matter. That you give that talent, that roster as much talent as possible. Yeah. We've seen a bunch of these drafts where they trade back and they take a couple of defenders and a receiver. And man, that would totally change the makeup of that roster and what they're able to do.
Yeah, because they're not just like one receiver away, It's too many holes at this point. That's a lot of rookies right here in this. So, are we still calling this, top 5 catch all time?
Yeah, it has to be. Ricky Pearsall, that's the Florida receiver, y'all, who caught the ball down the seam, like one-handed over this, and got hit by 3 guys.
God, it was crazy. If you haven't seen
cool.
it, go look up that Ricky Pearsall catch. That was insane.
Maybe if it's probably a copyright thing, but I was gonna say we could get it highlighted on the next one. Rico Dowdle, RB1.
Is this RB1? They have to take one though, right?
Rico Dowdle RB1 season. I think they will take a rookie and take Zeke.
Is where I want my boy Marshawn Lloyd from USC to go.
It's good. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
Be good for them. Well, look, y'all. We're going to be doing. We're back on the weekly rhythm. We're going to have one this week. We'll have one next week. We record these on Wednesdays to post them on Thursdays. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Spotify, and of course, you can catch us on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. So again, shout out to Fantasy Football Advice Network for sponsoring the show. Shout out to their partner, Underdog Fantasy. Don't forget when you go and you sign up because you thought the show was cool and you want to do your own drafts to use FFAdvice on the code. Again, that is FFAdvice, and Underdog will match your first deposit for using our partner code on that. So, look, we're going to wrap this one. We will start the draft earlier next time so we can get all 20 picks in for you. We won't spend so much time on Stefon Diggs. Look at you getting the Baltimore guy, Keaton Mitchell. Let's go.
He's going to get the touches like Tajay got the touches. It's going to be a worth it pick this late.
Let me see what my last pick here is. I'll do this last pick, and then we're getting out of here.
So we have usually a 45-minute timer on these, so we're going to cut out a little early.
Let me see. You know what? I'm doing it.
Last pick. Let's go. What you got?
I'm doing Ricky Pearsall.
Got him. The hype.
So,
the highlight boy.
That's right. All right. That's right. So, look, hey, we appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one. Check us out. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. We appreciate you.
Bye, guys.
He's